something to go by.
Hello and welcome to Game 2 of the playoff series between the Phoenix and the 36ers. Nice pass from Cotton, finds Humphries. Hunter again from close range. Cameron lays it up. Sobey pulls up in transition. Phoenix in front. Kosovic got a leer up in the air. That's an exceptional play. Sobey's the man with a hot hand in the first quarter. Vasilivic wide open. Got it. Shot clock down to 3.
Oh dear!
Adelaide having a really big couple of minutes. And it just got a whole lot better. They are a long way from their best right now. Cheatham rolls. And the jam. Momentum has been with Adelaide from the opening tip. Sobey exploring, found a path to the basket. Huge from Nathan Sobey. It'll be their biggest comeback of the season if they were successful today, South East Melbourne. Sobey with another good look. 6 points in 40 seconds for Nathan Sobey. He's feeling it.
Adelaide need to be on red alert because this man is taking over the game.
And the game changing before our very eyes. A Wundu from the corner. Nathan Sobey is everywhere right now. Phoenix lead. They have come from nowhere.
No.
Sobey through contact.
No.
Oh, my!
Go to work, son!
Well,
Sobey's got a 40-piece. Adelaide were 18 points up midway through the second quarter. The performance of a lifetime from Nathan Sobey. The biggest comeback of South East Melbourne Phoenix career at the most important time. And we are back in Adelaide for Game 3 for the final chapter. No war is won or lost until the final battle is over. And tonight is the final battle. Adelaide and South East Melbourne have traded blows over 2 incredible games. Now we see who wants it more. For the loser, it's season over and 6 months of what if. And for the winner, a date with destiny as they book their spot in the championship series. A huge hello and welcome around the world to the deciding Game 3 of the playoff series between Adelaide and South East Melbourne at the sold-out Adelaide Entertainment Centre. I'm Jack Heverin. Legends of the league, Derek Rucker and Andrew Gay sit alongside me. Drewy, it does not get any better than this.
nah, spot on. It's just an incredible opportunity for both these teams. Both these teams throughout the course of the series have seemingly been in a commanding position. But at the end of the day, it's 4-4 as far as quarters won. There's 2 points of difference when you consider their total scores. And it's going to be the small things that mean a lot when there's such a little margin between these two teams.
Derek, welcome to you. I can't remember a Game 3 of a series like this, and we've done quite a few of them now, where it is a genuine 50-50 game. You speak to some people, they think Adelaide are winning. You speak to others, they think the Phoenix are winning.
Well, Jack, if you speak to me, you would get about 3 different answers to who's winning this game, and that's not even possible. That's how difficult it is to separate these 2 basketball teams. Each possess a true superstar capable of taking over at any time. It's the better team, I believe, the deeper team in Southeast Melbourne against the potential gamesmanship and the ability to take over of Bryce Cotton.
We were here last Tuesday, Drewy, for Game 1 of the series, and we saw one of the most incredible playoff games of all time from this man, the 6-time MVP.
Yeah, and he came out of the blocks really strong, and I think that's the key to slowing him down. You're not going to stop him, but when he can come out and have a 14, 16, 18-point quarter at any stage, he sees it, and then he just becomes that whole much more difficult to contain. The shooting percentages have been outstanding throughout the series, and his ability to get to the rim and those cheap buckets. You've got to live with certain things when it comes to these superstars.
Yep.
And for me, taking away those easy ones around the rim has to be a priority.
He was incredible in game number 1, Derek. In game 2 on Saturday, Nathan Sobey had one of the performances of his lifetime. Had it have not been for him, we wouldn't be here tonight.
Well, it was an incredible performance. I said, in fact, it was historic. 41 points for Nathan Sobey. He was 8 of 16 from deep, and he delivered big time in that third quarter where Phoenix put up 39 points to take control of that lead after having that big deficit against them. Jack, the problem for Adelaide is I don't believe there's a single person on the Sixers roster that can contain Nathan Sobey.
He returns back to Adelaide tonight, full of confidence. Kelsey Brown with us this evening. She'll have all of the news covered from both teams. And Kels, we've got a major move when it comes to the Adelaide 36ers.
Absolutely we do. You guys have spoken about the superstars, but I want to talk about the supporting cast for the South East Melbourne Phoenix. It's Angus Glover. He was a spark plug in that game 1, and he's just inked a new 2-year deal. But the big news of the evening is the starting lineup for the Adelaide 36ers. DJ Vasilivic, 17 points in game 1, 14 points in game 2. He gets the nod tonight.
Well, it makes no sense to me because you look at the starts that they've had. They've come out of the blocks both games on fire. So to me, it's not the start. Yes, when you look at the comparison between him and Jenkins, that might make some sense, but I don't know why you just don't do what you did in game 2. Continue with the start that you have and then just play Vasilivic more minutes.
I hear you, Andrew, but I believe Wells has decided this is his best 5 to start the game off with. He wants to come out strong, have an impact right away, and perhaps get Vasilivic going early.
And Isaac Humphries, the other massive watch in this game, 6 minutes in game 2.
Yeah, that's
he deserves more than that. So here we go. The winner to play Sydney in the championship series, Michael Aylan, Chris Reed, Ken Arick, the 3 men that have been in charge of the series, and they've got the responsibility again tonight. And the first look is a good one for Nathan Sobey.
Well, that's how they're comfortable playing on the offensive end, finding Sobey early and often.
Cheatham changed his mind twice.
Got to be aggressive there and try and score.
Some early nerves, perhaps, for the Adelaide 36ers. Cotton got open. Premium stuff.
Really tough to guard the give and go. When your teammates are cued in to getting you the ball at the right time, you become a whole lot tougher to guard.
There's a Wonder who's had a quiet series by his lofty standards. That will be good for his confidence. 7 points in game 1, 7 points in game 2.
And he's been really good in the back half of the regular season. And let's see if that bucket will pick up his defensive confidence, because Cotton has really gotten with him early in both games 1 and 2.
Cameron with 7 on the shot clock, gets all the way in. Walks it into the basket.
This has been a feature, really, of Phoenix in these 2 games. In the half court, they are so extended and they're so spread that those driving lanes become wide open. Isaac Humphries just not even looking at the ball, but for Phoenix, I think you raise a good point. Iwandu's got a whole lot more upside, as does Owen Foxwell. He has been well down, almost half the points, only averaging 5.5 points and shooting it at 14% from the three-point line. A lot of upside they can get from Owen Foxwell.
Cheatham takes care of the rebound. Averaged 10 of those a game across the regular season.
Wow, quick.
Cotton was almost through. Has to go to plan B. Vasilivic into the starting lineup to do exactly that.
That's right, Jack, and that's what I believe Mike Wells was looking for. Andrew, your point is well taken and correct. They had gotten off to good starts, but perhaps Wells is looking for even more.
Yeah. There's no doubt that DJ can do that. He's experienced, he's won a couple of championships, been in this high-intensity environment a lot.
8's made 3 of the series for Dejan Vasilivic. And it comes at a very, very good time.
Great hustle there by Cotton. He was on the ball covering Foxwell. A late switch occurred and he rotated over extremely quickly. As we look at the Amy replay, Hunter's wide open and look at Cotton recover. And that's a travel.
Well, only when he picked it up, whistle went early.
Couple of minutes played, game 3. Win or go home is the equation for both of these teams. The pass a little too fierce for Zyle and Cheatham. Game 2, it was Adelaide who got off to a red-hot start. They led 30-19 at quarter time on Saturday. And then the comeback for the Phoenix built in the second half.
And really, in the second half for Adelaide 36ers, they were just terrible on the offensive end with turning the ball over. They had 18 turnovers in the game. It's hard to win a playoff game when there's very little margin, coughing it up 18 times.
Foxwell at the top of the key.
Great range on his jump shot. And you have to be careful with how you close out against Foxwell because he's so crafty in finishing around the rim, and his float game is also very good.
Pass from Isaac Humphries.
Speaking of float game, Jack, Cotton gets points 3 and 4 off of a nice little back door.
And Sobey put into the front row by Humphries. who looks like he's playing with a point to prove tonight.
He hasn't played a lot, but in his time on the floor, he's been quite solid. They're just like Rakocevic a little bit more, perhaps because of what you were talking about, Derek, on the defensive end. A bit more lateral movement, but the rim protection that time from Isaac was outstanding.
What is it like? Help us understand, you two. You've played in some of the biggest games in NBL history. When you come to a sold-out venue like this where there's not another spare seat in the building and it's loud and they're not cheering for you, what's that like?
Well, for me, Jack, it was always trying to give myself just to feel comfortable and settle down. And that's very hard to do, especially if you're offensive players like myself and Andrew were, as Sobi gets himself going. But I don't know about you, Drew, but I always felt to get a bucket early was a great stabilizer.
And that was a stabilizer for Sobes because he missed his first three. He was 0 for 3 before that one, but he's already taken 4 shots, and we've only played 3.5 minutes. He took 27 shots in game 1, only made 9 of them. So he's just got to find that balance where he becomes a priority on the offensive end, but also make sure that he gets others involved as well.
Derek, you were talking about it off the top that you don't think there's anyone in Adelaide that can guard Nathan Sobey in this game.
And that's what makes every possession so enticing for him, because he's so confident and so talented. He understands he can get a good look as Cotton's looking for his own good look.
Cheatham eased under it, and Foxwell gets things going quickly, coast to coast, and ties it up.
Tough. And that's the right thing to do, when, particularly when it's Bryce Cotton there. Try and tempt him into a foul.
Game, Drew.
Oh, Josh King just...
Josh, control your emotions. You're not going to have this swear at me like that.
Well, the second aspect of that is correct. He can't be accepting of that type of language. The first one, control your emotions, is crazy.
Well, just maybe control your language.
I think that ship has sailed.
But you know, but Josh King's trying to make a point because they want to get out and run. They don't want the delay when I'm here right now. See, the ball gets hit away, so they can't run out of the main basket. And that's the point that he was trying to get through to the officials.
Big start to the game for Isaac Humphries. His first bucket, a couple of blocks, a couple of rebounds. And there's another one. He looks engaged early.
Kosovic getting ready to check in, so I suspect that'll be for him.
Vasilivic short. Wow. Humphries right place, right time.
Bounce of the ball goes in the favor of Isaac Humphries. He looks highly engaged already. He's got 4 points on 2 of 2, a couple of rebounds, an assist, and a block shot.
Well, this is something we haven't seen. Rather than coming in for Isaac, this is a good adjustment by Mike Wells, because Isaac Humphries is building confidence. He's a perfect 2 of 2. He's had a rebound and a block shot, so he rolls with him for a few more minutes as Cheatham gets a rest.
Both coaches now with a warning. Sobey pass underneath for Brown, who finishes through contact. All of the big names for both teams getting early touches.
And both teams clicking well on the offensive end. The Sixers, in fact, shooting 75% from the field. As Rakocevic comes in right away and has an impact. Pick and roll, drop down, he finishes with contact and one.
What a series Nick Rakocevic has had. Here it is on the replay. 18 and 10 to go with 3 assists on Saturday. 14 and 10 in game 1 last Tuesday here. He's the one that no one spoke about leading into this series, and he has been huge.
He's doubled his output from the regular season. Almost 16 points a game here in this series, and he was only at around 8 during the regular season. And a lot of that's got to do with the minutes. His minutes has gone up.
Malik Lewis into the game. Angus Glover likewise signed a new 2-year deal today with the Phoenix. First look is a good one. That jumps out late. Southeast Melbourne 5 of 11 from the field so far. Adelaide, a very efficient 7 from 9. Cotton miss. Well, he just falls out. Now he steps back and he's fouled. Right in front of the Adelaide bench.
That was a super tough shot that he took. And on that one there, Sobey bowled him out a little. Now, he has the capacity to make really tough shots, but certain, like I just keep saying, certain things you've got to live with, and that was just a little overzealous by Sobey. and puts him to the line where he can see 3 free throws go through.
Well, Jack, right now, the Sixers are doing a good job on all loose balls. They've got a couple of offensive rebounds, and good hustle right there by Isaac White to secure that offensive rebound and kick it out to Cotton.
This is the second Bryce Cotton, an 89% free throw shooter through the regular season.
He missed a couple in game 2 as well.
He gets the ball back here for Adelaide.
Mind you, he made 12 or 14, went there quite a bit. So at the end of the day, his percentages were still very strong. Just get so surprised when you see Bryce Cotton come up short on a free throw.
6-point lead for the 36ers. Ian Clark, a championship winner here in the NBL and in the NBA. Gets his first look of game 3. Cameron fires away with confidence. Next star, Malik Lewis, who was hugely influential in that comeback.
Good call right in front of us.
It's Cotton who's whistled for his first. Over to you, Kelsey Brown.
Well, we know that the Adelaide fans turn out in force, but it's almost like they've collectively agreed that Nathan Sobey will be the reason they don't make it through to the championship series. It is a boo every single time he touches the ball. If he does something wrong, they cheer. They are going after Nathan Sobey today. They are the 11th, 12th, 13th member of this Adelaide team.
Well, Andrew, we've been the center of that focus during our careers, and it's not a great place to be.
Well, I think it has got probably a little bit more to do with the sleeper hold that he put on.
Sleeper hold might be a bit of an exaggeration.
Well, in the elbow to the throat.
Josh King asking us to officiate the game. We've got our hands full just doing this at the moment. Here's Cotton.
Tough. Very tough.
He's off to a solid start. Looks comfortable, and more importantly, Andrew, he looks fresh.
Sobey at the other end will keep firing away.
To me, that's a no pass. So I know he had the 41, but now we've got issues. Timeout. Phoenix has to be.
It's happening for Adelaide again. A double-figure lead in the first quarter.
Outstanding pace. Good execution on the defensive end. They're rebounding the basketball well. And their main man, Bryce Cotton, he's hot early. Cheatham clears this out right here, and look at the Sixers. Rakocevic does a good job of clearing it out. Isaac White, he needed that bucket, Andrew.
Well, they did, and it's a nice 11-point lead. The 11 points to hold this Phoenix team to only 11 in 7 minutes of action is outstanding. But that shot by Nathan Sobey, yeah, it might. His time, they need to get him the ball, but that was a no-pass offense, and you're 1 of 5. So that's the time where, unless you get something a little easier, to me, let's work it through, get a side-to-side action, move the defense around, loosen it up before you get into that attack mode.
All of the details for the championship series, all of the news, all of the podcasts, all of the videos, it's all there on the NBL app. You can download it now, scan the QR code, and it's got every slither of information that you'll need between now and Saturday. Josh King's still asking us to officiate the game.
Well, he's upset about that baseline pull-up jumper by Sobey. He thought there was contact.
He knows we don't have a whistle though, right?
Correct.
I'm not sure. I saw the guy was right in front of us.
So there's bigger fish to fry right now because they are down 11. Adelaide playing with a high level of confidence. Lewis unsuccessful. Cotton threw it between Kenyon and White, who left it for each other.
I think it was to Kenyon, and White just happened to be behind him.
Smart heads-up play from Malik Lewis. Adelaide were asleep, and he finds a bucket that they needed.
Well, you shouldn't be asleep against this team. This is what they do. They get out and run better than any team in the competition, and they're going to put heat on the rim early.
Cotton not an option on this play at the moment, so Isaac White takes matters into his own hands. Scoreless in the series so far, has got 5 very quick points.
And again, this is the result of knocking down that 3 in transition that caused the timeout to be called. Now Isaac White's offensive game is starting to open up. He's very good at penetrating with those delayed finishes. Kick ball there by Rakocevic.
Kelsey, you were listening in the timeout.
I was. It was all about quick points for Josh King, so he'll be happier with that second take than Malik Lewis. But straight out of the timeout, Malik Lewis went for that three-point attempt. It was not what he'd asked for. He said, we need to survive this run at the moment. Quick points is what he's after. And just the twos, the basic ones.
They are such a high-volume three-point shooting team.
This has got a real similar look to the first half in Melbourne.
Glover from deep. That's two that have jumped out for Angus Glover.
It's also two bad turnovers in the last three possessions by the Sixers. They've got to be careful.
It's getting away from them. 1 of 8 now from deep.
Ooh.
Cotton into the corner. Brad Kenyon on the offensive glass. Back out for Cotton. He's short. They get another look at it. Checks the feet.
He was short exactly the same way in the first one. Normally you see the great shoes, they'll make that adjustment. He had it from the same spot.
John Brown, the defensive player of the year, stole it away from Cotton. And it's not often that we say that.
Great stop by White. Read the situation, sacrificial foul, just to stop the easier transition bucket.
Good scrap there. John Brown is just elite with usage of his hands in those types of situations.
John Brown the third, Glover, Clark, Awundu, and Lewis the 5 out there for the Phoenix. Cameron, Cotton, Jenkins, Rakocevic, and Cheatham for the home team.
Jenkins seen his first action in the very first possession, commits the foul. You know, I know he's a veteran, and he's been played all over the world, played in the NBA, but coming into this high-octane environment, and they're cheering for him, but his confidence would be down because of what's taken place so far.
And he's got to find his way physically into this game because he's really struggled with mobility, his athleticism, his ability to close out and contain his man. And then on the offensive end, they need him to knock down semi-contested three balls. If he can get 2 or 3 of those going in this game, that'll go a long way to helping the Sixers advance to the championship series.
179 NBA games for John Jenkins, but that doesn't mean that it's an easy path here in the NBL. Great take from Rakocevic.
Oh, he's cooking. He's going with the James Harden, I'm cooking.
He has been all series. Clark to respond. The 3-ball not going down for the Phoenix right now. Nice hands from Clark, knocked it away from Cotton. He gets up to the other end and lays it up. Big play by Ian Clark.
3 turnovers there by Cotton, and that's leading to some good scoring opportunities for the Phoenix.
8 points looks a lot better from the Phoenix perspective as they head to quarter time.
Just playing bully ball. The catcher did a decent job keeping him in front.
5 seconds for Clark. He pulls up in the mid-range. Adelaide lead by 10 points at quarter time. The small things are the big things when the season's on the line, and right now the 36ers have had the better of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Quarter time in Game 3 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Two steps, release, knock down the pins, get as many as possible.
Well, it's game 3 here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, and it is much the same as it was in game 2, a 10-point lead, 11 points, I must add, to the 36ers. They are 28 to the Phoenix 17. As I said, very similar to game 2 all the way in Melbourne. Nick Rakocevic and Bryce Cotton with 7 points. They are continuing their form, but I listened into Josh King. It was all about the defensive end. He said they are being physical on that end of the floor, and we are not even close to matching them. We need to pick it up. No more standing and watching. Get the ball and run.
Well, after quarter number 1, it's 15-love Adelaide.
Tough play, DJ. Called play to get DJ a shot. Comes off a stagger. And no dribble, knocks it down. Great start for the Adelaide 36ers.
Sobey with ball in hand had a struggle in the first quarter. Hunter's tip-in doesn't go either. They are stone cold right now offensively, the Phoenix.
Whoa.
DJ from Headley Beach.
Wow. DJ pulls up, logo transition 3. Vasilivic with 9 off of 3 bombs early.
That was Steph Curry range from the Brett Maher side.
Southeast Melbourne will rattle Jack.
1 of 8 now of the Phoenix. Nathan Sobey, I should say, for the Phoenix. Cotton piling on the pain. A 20-point lead, and it's happened in a flash.
Adelaide sizzling from deep. 5 made threes already, Drew.
Yeah, it's a special shooting performance by the 36ers, and that's what you need to see a lot more of if you're Phoenix. They're coming down in virtually a 1 or a no-pass offense, and it's a lot easier to defend. Yes, it's tough, there's talent out there, but it's a lot easier to defend when there's not a whole lot of movement. Oh dear.
It's a rare mistake for Adelaide, and Bryce Cotton grabs the thumb straight away. Foxwell misses from long range. Nathan Sobey's a big talking point right now, Derek. He's 1 of 8 from the field. He was the hero in game 2. But right now it's not working for him. What do you do?
Well, he doesn't need to lose any aggression. He just needs to change his tactics and try and get through the paint more as DJ goes to work, and he's fouled. But the story right now is Bryce Cotton. If we look at the Amy replay, Cheatham comes down, and look at the distance on that shot, Andrew.
Oh, that is really a bad shot that goes in, because that is a long, long way out. And normally you're going to hunt better options before you settle for something like that, but DJ's just reading the moment, and that's what he is. He can get really streaky, and when you've got to spread your defense that wide, it's very difficult to guard.
And Cotton, DJ misses a little heat check, and again,
smart by Rakocevic, but great hustle from Brown. Didn't give up on the play.
DJ thinks that he got it before he gathered.
Like 34.
Chris, I have.
Yeah. Before the drop. Okay, we'll go to the sideline.
You have the ball.
What? Sorry, foul blue 34. Push. Side ball. Hey.
Yeah, there's the foul, and he's still dribbling.
I've got information from my co-official who's definitive that it happened before the shot. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to change
He's still
that.
dribbling. The ball was on the
Here we go.
in the act of dribbling. When it all depends on when they determine the foul was called. But based on what I saw, where the foul was called, it was the correct call.
Hunter in the low block. Nice deep from Humphries. Good answer, though, from Geordie Hunter, who is their only scorer in this quarter. Back-to-back buckets for the Phoenix, who we shouldn't forget were 18 points down in game 2 on Saturday and found a way back.
an interesting lineup now for the Sixers. 3 guards and then the Twin Towers.
Ian Clark on the retrieval mission. Takes in 2 more. They cut it back to 14, and Mike Wells just wants to slow the Phoenix down here, so a little run from the visitors.
A 6-0 run by the Phoenix to cut this lead down to 14. And I think Mike Wells has done the right thing here, and he also, Andrew, will probably make some changes to that lineup.
37-23 in the Tangerine timeout. Bryce Cotton, the leading scorer in the game with 10 points. Let's get over to Kels.
I'm here with a superstar of Adelaide, Tex Walker. Tex, I love that you're repping the Sixers outfit. All of your teammates are as well. Great to get around and support another Adelaide team.
Yeah, they're going really well tonight. We got season tickets this year, and it's been great to come and support them, and they're doing really well tonight so far, so hopefully we can get it done tonight.
Give us some insight into watching Bryce Cotton and the likes of a DJ Vasilivic this close to the floor. What's it like? They are superb.
They are. DJ's shooting the ball really well tonight, and Bryce is going really well as well, so it's been very entertaining. Hopefully they can get the job done.
Good win for you guys on the weekend, but I have to ask you the question. The rest of the crowd is booing Sobe. Are you joining in?
No, I don't like booings, but it seems to be having a bit of an effect, so if it means we win, then no, let's not do it. But yeah, we'll see how the game ends up.
All the best for the rest of your season, and cheering on to the 36ers tonight. Let's hope they get over the line for you.
Thank you.
He's the pride of South Australia, Taylor Tex Walker, but right now the Adelaide 36ers, boys, from when we flew in today, everyone's talking about the 36ers here in Adelaide.
Yeah, they are, and it's an unbelievable atmosphere in this stadium, and downtown, there's a real vibe about this team and what they're capable of doing.
Brown knocked that away. He thought that caught the fingertip of Cotton, who's got 4 on the shot clock. Can't keep a good man down.
He's got 12 points now, and he's the plus 16 in his minutes on the floor, which have been all of the game minutes played.
Just keeping an eye on that right thumb, though, that's heavily taped. It is clearly troubling him. Oh, to what degree, we wonder.
So Cotton has the right one taped up, as we see here. Isaac White just... Ooh, that's actually an offensive foul.
Yeah.
John Brown slides to his right, and that was a poor call. Phoenix catch a break. But Cotton actually did his left wrist or left thumb earlier in that collision.
39-23, Awundu from a long way out. Southeast Melbourne, 1 of 14.
And this was the danger, Jack. How are they going to get points if they're not shooting it well from deep?
And that's the other danger. Oh, the best player in the league doing what he does on the biggest stage.
That is special. When he gets going, sees a few go in. That is a tough shot. And sometimes you'll work it a little bit longer as Awundu gets to the right rim if things aren't going quite right for him. But he's got both. He can get to the rim, and he's got the 3-ball right at the moment.
42 here last Tuesday. He's got 15. No foul there. Isaac Humphries has been a handful.
Well, now it's getting to that point, Andrew, where there's so much focus on Cotton. The other guys are starting to get easy opportunities. Clark nails a corner 3.
It is, and for all the defense, as Coach King yells us, trying to emphasize that he believes that Bryce Cotton is floppy, he never actually got the call. So
I'm just not sure what he wants us to do about it, though. That's the only thing. Cotton relocates and scores 2 more.
Well, he gives it up, Andrew relocates, and the Sixers bigs are very good at understanding how and when to get Bryce the basketball after he repositions himself.
A combination of really poor 3-point shooting, 2 of 15, where they've led the league as far as points from the 3-point line. And when that's not going, what happens next?
Well, they've gone to the mid-range now. Ian Clark's hit a couple.
And Hunter down low, the pick and roll's been good for him as well. Maybe have a bit more of a look at that. But the only insurance policy against poor 3-point shooting is defense, and we have not seen it at a level that is going to be sustainable just yet.
So this lineup's been a good one for the Phoenix. Brown, Hunter, Clark, Awundu, and Foxwell. They make a change. Foxwell out, Glover in.
And Jack, now we'll get our first look at the Sixers without Bryce Cotton on the floor. Wholesale changes made by both teams critical juncture coming up here with 4:16 to go in this first half.
Vasilivic back in, has 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting. He was the spark early. And one.
He's on it.
Well, they're at 62% from the field. And I keep harping on it. They're not taking anything away. They've got the penetration at the rim. They got 48 points. They're 6 of 13, 46% from the threes. They're getting beat both ways.
Right there, bad communication between Brown and Hunter, allowing DJ to get to the rim. And DJ is an underrated penetrator, especially after he's knocked down some deep ones.
And Nathan Sobey, who played 38 minutes in that game too, he's only played 9 minutes in the contest, and he's 1 of 8. So there comes a point in time where you don't want to destroy his confidence either.
Well, he's carrying those 2 fouls, Drew. At what point do you feel like you got to go?
Well, when you're 19 points down, I think the point is now, because this next 4 minutes can dig themselves a hole that becomes very tough to get out of.
So you would be making the call right now?
Well, that's what they've done all season. He's been their guy. Now, yeah, you give him a spell because it hasn't been going well for him, and I think he got caught up with the booze trying to prove the crowd wrong, and he's taken some bad shots, but he's been his guy all season.
Break, please. Break, blue.
Just a fantastic energy in the building. And we know Southeast Melbourne, better than any other team in the competition, can go on scoring runs. They can play transition basketball, force turnovers, and get back in the game quickly. This is a big call right here, down 19.
Sixth man of the year, Angus Glover, misses both. Wouldn't that just cap the night off for South Australian basketball fans? The code word's crispy. If this goes the right way, they could be eating winners' burgers.
And going to the grand final to take on the Sydney Kings.
49-30. Game 3, the decider in the playoff series between Adelaide and Southeast Melbourne. The Sydney Kings are watching on and resting. They will play the winner of this game on Saturday at Kudos Bank Arena.
That's 8 turnovers now. So even despite the 8 turnovers, they hold a healthy lead.
Ian Clark's doing his bit off the Phoenix bench. Got 11 points, 5 of 8, and of course, big games like this don't faze him, as Malik Lewis applies significant pressure to Zylan Cheatham. He's getting physical.
Well, this is where almost at this identical stage in game 2 where Phoenix started to get back into it. They started to make some shots, get the lead back to a more manageable situation.
Yeah, you're right. And even with this deficit being at 17, it's just more about the way the game is being played. They may not make an indent in this margin. We got a technical foul now.
Technical foul, coach.
And look at the reaction from Bryce Cotton to his coach.
Well, it's only one shot. I know where Bryce is going. It's only going to be the one free throw. But it's the statement it makes as well. And I don't know why you'd be getting a tech foul when you're 17 points up with possession of the ball.
Correct.
Now Zylan Cheatham's gone over to Mike Wells and said, come on,
Hold it
get your head in the game.
Yeah.
I know it's disappointing,
But little things like that can change the energy.
It is, but Bryce just needs to be just a tad careful of how demonstrative you are with your disappointment with the call as well.
Is that a moment that we look back on? The later that this game goes, it's Adelaide firmly in control now. Kenyon has done a lot of little things in his limited time on the court. There's another one. 9 points, 5 rebounds in a short space of time for Nick Rakocevic.
Truly, they're killing him on the offensive board.
Yeah, which has usually been advantage Phoenix throughout the season and this series on the O boards.
He saved them, otherwise this game would be in dire straits for Southeast Melbourne. Clark with 15.
across the series, Southeast Melbourne were plus 22 in offensive rebounds coming into tonight. Adelaide beating them at their own game.
And Phoenix aren't great on the defense. It was yesterday the #1 offensive rebounding team. But here's Ian Clark, a simple on ball, and Rakosevic's got to know that that's Ian Clark. DJ's going to do his best to get over the top and compete and contest the shot. But that's just a game of horse for Ian Clark, because DJ gets banged. He only needs a step of separation, and he's just wide open for him.
So Nathan Sobey's number has been called. Back into the game and immediately hunts a basket.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the adjustment that needed to be made. Now he's playing with 2 fouls, but he's got to turn his fortunes around, and that can begin by getting on the rim. There's no one that can contain him. Gets a good lane, easy finish off the glass, +1.
Up 20. It's a chance to bring it back to 12. So again, this last 3 or 4 minutes to close out the half. Still got 2 to go, but it's been a productive couple of minutes for Phoenix.
1 of 8 from the field before that layup, Nathan Sobey. And all of the sins can be forgotten quickly. Mike Wells shuffles the decks. Flynn Cameron back in, Dejan Vasilivic out. Looked like just a little bit of confusion on the Adelaide bench there about who was coming in and out.
Well, Drew, things have gone a little bit funky since that technical foul was whistled on Wells.
Kosovic and Humphries there together.
Well, this is getting beyond, there's 10 turnovers now for the Adelaide 36ers.
Well, they get lucky there, and the ball comes back to them. But they need a settler here. They need a good bucket.
The body language starting to shift.
Correct.
We saw this in game 2. They were 18 up at one point when we started to see some things on the Adelaide bench that were concerning. Long way to go in the game, but we're starting to see the same thing happen again here.
It is. They're still in a commanding position. If you had said to every one of these guys, would you take that 12-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the first, you'd sign off on that every single day.
Oh, that's the one they were looking for. Too easy for Cotton. Baseline out of bounds, curls into the corner, pulls up, knocks down the 3.
It's a different ball game when you've got the benchmark. Ian Clark is having a quarter.
And again, we've seen Ian Clark and Torrey Craig play pivotal roles for their respective teams. You get a foul on Clark. 2 shots coming up for Flynn Cameron, and now we've got a problem.
You're not confident like that in the official.
Somebody needs to be
You're not
careful.
confident like that in the official. Yeah, technical foul.
Clark comes to the bench.
And that's 3 fouls on Ian Clark. That is a huge play.
And it's going to be 3 free throws for the Adelaide 36ers. Bryce takes the technical. Have a look.
They're tangled up. Flynn Cameron goes James Harden and wraps Clark up, and that's just too demonstrative.
Is it though?
Depends on
In the eyes of the referee, Jack.
Depends.
I agree with you.
The clapping, I think, okay, you're walking a fine line, but then he did say something, and
Yes.
I think that the critical factor is what he said. Oh, yeah.
Flynn Cameron leaves both on the line. You could cut the tension with a knife right now. High stakes in game 3. Sobey again.
He's not going to stop. And again, one of the most intelligent players in the league, has adjusted quickly, and he's starting to impact the basketball game. Phoenix only down 11.
Still a minute before halftime. Everything running through Cotton, who has 20 first half points. What a pass for Humphries. Phoenix with a bit to talk about at halftime. They should get one at least, perhaps a second look at it to try and make some inroads. This possession's been less than ideal for them. Shot clock at 2 for Awundu. Great D from Rakocevic.
Downright ugly, Jack. Great defense there by Rakocevic.
One meaningful possession here for Adelaide.
I'm running someone at him. I'm not letting go. I'm running someone at him, and hey, if someone else scores, so be it.
Cotton crosses over. You gotta love it!
That's why you run someone at him.
Last look for the Phoenix. Sobey for Malik Lewis. He scores at the buzzer. This is some sort of contest.
A spectacular first half by the Adelaide 36ers. Cotton staring at Awundu in his grill. Shapes him up. Gets back. Wow. Heavy pull-up. 3-ball Cotton. Commanding lead for the Sixers going into the break.
59-45. The sold-out Adelaide Entertainment Centre is losing its mind right now, Kelsey.
They are. DJ started this game, had immediate impact. Is that what you wanted to do?
I mean, yeah, it's finals time. It's do or die. If we don't win, we go home.
What about for you guys? We've seen this story written before in the second game. You guys were up and they came back. How do you avoid that happening in this one?
Possession game. Take a bit longer on offense so they can't get out and run. Just relax a little bit. Obviously, when we score a few, we want to keep going and going. We just got to chill out a little bit.
Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it.
A very calm DJ Vasilivic, and this is why Adelaide 59, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 45 at the major break. Only 20 minutes remains in NBL 26 for one of these teams. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more after this.
What a half of basketball from the Adelaide 36ers. Season's on the line, the championship to come. And that man, you know it's coming. You know when it's coming, but you're helpless to stop it. Bryce Cotton, a man on a mission, yet again. A massive first half from the MVP. 42 points in game one. He was honourable, serviceable to his standards in game two, and boy, he's brought his best again in game three.
Well, it's been tough, man. And look, the thing about Bryce is when you give him options, he's going to take advantage.
Bang on.
You got to be able to shut him down, send him one way, send him towards your help. Because right now, you're letting him dance, and when he dances with the prettiest girl in the club. Trust me.
And right now, unfortunately, for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, the prettiest girl in the club is them. And he's dancing with them. Where's the wonder? You're going to get to the monitor in just a moment and break it down. But let's have a look at just what Bryce Cotton is doing. Because as I said, we know it's coming. We know when it's coming. But it still surprises us.
Here's the Hungry Jack's highlights. You've hit the nail on the head. You've got to take something away. If you let him have options, if you let him pick and play with you, he is going to toy with you. He is just that good. He's a 6-time MVP for a reason. You've got to pick your poison, take something away. He has lit it up. And the problem is, unfortunately, you can't slow him down now. He's on one. He's going to be on one now. You've got to basically limit everybody else.
Again, you're right, and that's probably why they started DJ. But when he's got the ball like this, send some help, make him pass the ball. And then on top of all that, make him play some defense, post him up, make him play some defense, Felix, please.
Southeast Melbourne have got to do something because we look at the Blackmore stats right now. 23 points, remarkably efficient, 9 of 15. But Pete, we do this all the time. Please tell us, is there somehow you can find a reason that he's doing this?
Well, I mean, you've got to pray right now to stop him. But the other side is, as Coach mentioned, they're being too reactive, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Have a look at a couple of these clips right now. Anyone who's played basketball knows this baseline out of bounds. It's either a back screen here, and then this little down screen is going to happen. Where's the one who needs to be on this side? Force him away, because otherwise this clip rolls on. It's a little bit of a shimmy. Where's the one who is not ready at all in a stance? And then Bryce Cotton, you go underneath. It's a tough shot, but he can hit that. Now, the last play of the half, we talk about being reactive. Take something away if you're Weza Wondu. Look at his feet, stuck in mud, just waiting, being reactive. Crawl in, make him put the ball on the floor. Look at everyone crowding in. If you let him be on an island right here, Bryce Cotton's going to toy with you every single time. Way too reactive, and now the 6-time MVP is running right.
Now, it's not all doom and gloom for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They've been here before. They were here in game two, down by 13 at halftime, and they managed to come back and win. Sobey is going to have to pick it up in the second half, but right now, if you're Adelaide, you're paying a lot closer attention to this bracket.
Well, absolutely you are, because they are 20 minutes away from going up to Sydney on Saturday and taking on the Sydney Kings. We could be getting your Bryson Kendrick, the championship series, Felix.
Calm down. They've been here before. They're up 18. At the end of the day, if Sobey comes out and plays the way he played in Melbourne, we might have a dance.
A date with the Sydney Kings beckons, but right now the Adelaide 36ers have 1 foot in Kudos Bank Arena. What can Southeast Melbourne do to combat that man in the second half? 20 more minutes of basketball to play for one of these teams, and another potential 5 games coming for the other.
Welcome back to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre and the Hungry Jacks NBL, where it is 14-point lead to the Adelaide 36ers, and I think every single member of our commentary team have spoken about this. If you think this game is over, please think again. We know that the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix absolutely loves this and can turn this around. Cast your mind back to last season, down 19 at the half, pulled out a 10-point win. Game 2, down by 13 on Saturday at the half, won by 9 points. So if you think that Josh King and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are out of this, think again, because this second half will be very critical.
It certainly will be. And what it's going to be is it's going to be some adjustments by the Phoenix, because 23 points for Bryce Cotton, as great as he is, that is too many, and they are getting completely and totally eviscerated on the boards. 27-9, and 10 of those 27 have come at the offensive end. That has usually been the domain of the Phoenix. They second chance points, they've been elite at that all season, but they just haven't been able to get that going. Full credit to the Adelaide 36ers.
So we talk so much about Bryce Cotton, and as we should, Derek Ruck. He's got 23 points at the half, but the support staff is crucial. Vasilivic, one of them, started tonight, 12 points, a few of them early. How have you seen his first half?
A bold move by Mike Wells that has paid off hugely in the first half, 12 points, and it came off of the back of his first look. Knocked down this 3 to start his scoring impact in the first half, and then it was opening up the rest of his game. Comes off a little handoff there. Look, DJ is a very experienced championship-winning player, and again, a big move to put him in the starting lineup. But DJ's done a fantastic job. Let's see if he can continue it in the second half. I'd look for the Phoenix to try and exploit him on the defensive end.
Well, in this series, Bryce Cotton in the first half has gone 24, 19, and 23.
Oof.
So in game 2, I think the Phoenix were able to slow him down. They're going to have to do that a whole lot tougher, doing it on his home court.
Both teams going back to their starters for the second half. Ian Clark sitting on the Phoenix bench with 17 points. Does have 3 fouls, though. The task ahead of the Phoenix, but it's familiar territory. First look was a good one for John Brown.
Single coverage on Bryce Cotton is not going to work. Make someone else beat you. Now, it's easier said than done. But, oh, that's a great start. Great set. Goes 3 sides. 4 or 5 passes. And a wide open DJ who was hot in that first half. Great call by Mike Wells, the head coach.
That was beautiful. Sobey for Brown. Nice find. He's fouled with 1 to come.
Foul there on Zylan Cheatham. That'll be number 1 on him, but the Sixers come out of the half and they execute with precision, getting Vasilivic an outstanding look, and he's 5 of 7, very efficient for his 15 points.
And the ball hardly touched the floor. It might have been a 1 or 2 dribble set, and it goes from one side to the other, back to the original, and a wide open DJ on the pin down.
62 to 48. It all comes down to this.
Same set again.
Cameron hemmed in with not a lot to work with. Cotton calls everyone off. Cheatham gets it back for the 36ers with offensive rebound number 11 in the game.
Pass. DJ is doing it all tonight. The starting nod that he's got has really excelled him, not just with the shot. Look at the Amy replay. DJ here draws the help, drop-off pass. Isaac at the rim. He read it perfectly.
And the offense was somewhat accidental, where DJ winds up just around the top of the key area, not an area where he usually functions. And it kind of puts Sobey in a bad position on the floor to defend.
Isaac Humphries now has 11 points, 4 assists, is a +16. Owundu. No good from 3. Foxwell changed his mind late.
He's down on confidence. That's a shot that he's going to make most of the time. The pass was harder than the shot. And he turns it over.
Maybe the last time that we see Owen Foxwell for now in the NBL. There's a lot of discussion around his potential move to the college system next year. That's one right in the mush. Or the bonds. People watching overseas have got no idea what we're talking about right now. There's Hunter. Brown on the offensive glass, doing what he does.
Sloppy by Cheatham. He gets away with it. Attention to detail. That's really only been the bad thing for the Adelaide 36ers so far, has been the turnovers. 11 turnovers in the ball game.
He's been a little off tonight, Zylan Cheatham, by his lofty standards. Scoreless, hasn't taken a field goal attempt. Does have 7 rebounds and 4 assists, so finding other ways to get involved.
Yeah, but Jack, at some point, they're going to need him to get some scoring as Cotton breaks free.
Uh-oh. You get lucky on that one. Hunter at the top of the key. This is well and truly in his kit bag. Misses out. Brown gets it back for the Phoenix, who trail by 15 points.
Wow. Terrific move there by Sobey. Gets onto his left hand. And the angle to make that shot was extremely difficult. Does it with ease. Sobey creeping up now. He has 9 points in the game. Southeast Melbourne applying heavy pressure.
He's made his last 3, and they've all been at the rim. Nathan Sobey.
So here's their shot chart, Drew, and this tells the story. There's a lot of green in the paint right now, and there's a lot of red outside.
It is, and that's been the way they've played all season. They've been heavily dominated by the three-point line, but now that the shots aren't dropping, what's plan B? And we've seen a bit of it as Isaac Humphries gets fouled going to the rim.
The pick and roll has been a problem for Southeast Melbourne. They haven't effectively taken away that dive option, and that's the one you got to take away initially. And we've seen out throughout the season where Cotton's been very good in pick and rolls with Humphries.
Well, we just got a brief moment here. Quick shout out. We know Ken Cole, unfortunately, he passed away, but we also lost another NBL player, Mike Slusher. He was in the league from 1980 to 1986. 7 seasons, 6 with the Saints, 1 with the Nuttall Inspectors. Condolences to his family. And Josh King has just, as Ken Cole has reserved his seat. Josh King just wore a technical foul. It was what he said, not his actions. He's been renowned for his body language, and that sometimes can get him into trouble. He doesn't like it.
Well, what it does also is sends Cotton to the line with an opportunity just to get an easy point. And we've spoken often about what that does for a player's confidence. He had been quiet to open his third quarter.
So by this time in game 2, the comeback was well and truly on for Adelaide. They're navigating the waters and keeping the Phoenix at bay.
Jack, they're 3 of 21 from deep now.
Hunter knocks it to the advantage of Foxwell, and Cotton whistled for a cheap one. That'll be his second.
And the thing about it is, when you've played a certain way the entire season, to make those changes on the fly is what you've got to do. Now, they've started to do that. Clearly, Josh King, we heard in the timeout earlier, instructing, hey, we've got to put heat on the rim, get to the rim, get to the rim. And you're still looking, though, for when those wide open ones. That last one by Owen Foxwell was a deep shot. And in isolation, not a bad shot for him, but in the context of where the game's at, without putting any heat on the rim and taking that first up, it's probably not the right one. That is a better one for Ian Clark. Not for everyone, but certainly for Ian Clark, getting in to basically a free throw.
40% from long range in game 2, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Game 1, 27%, 12 of 43. It's actually a little worse for them right now. They're 14% from the perimeter. Offensive foul. whistled for it. 14 points the difference. Phoenix ball.
He's trying to size him up, and he has the angle. Probably didn't need to go in and turn his shoulder into Foxwell. I think if he just goes in, he has a size advantage on Foxwell. And I think he would have drawn the contact if he just went straight anyway.
The boos continue for Nathan Sobey, who has 9 points on 4 of 11. Ian Clark, he's single-handedly taking matters from a Phoenix perspective.
Super sharp, great action there. Comes off a stationary screen, curls into a sweet spot, knocks down the three.
Up to 22 points from 9 of 12.
Hunter with a block on Rakocevic. The Phoenix are making a charge, a score here, and it's back inside single figures. And there's a nervous hush over the Adelaide Entertainment Centre right now. .22 points for Ian Clark. He attracts a crowd. 4 on the shot clock. Smothered by Humphries. Rakocevic can't score.
May have been contact on the shot, wasn't whistled.
Sobey swings to Clark, who's the man with the hot hand.
Now there is genuine pressure on the Adelaide 36ers.
Wow, what a fight back from Southeast Melbourne, led by Ian Clark. Big time three. He's 10 of 14 from the field, 25 big ones.
And the game changing again before our very eyes, 68-60. We want to take this opportunity to give a huge shout out to Bunnings, who have been unbelievable supporters of the NBL this season, particularly when it comes to the young boys and girls who love this game and have got stars in their eyes. They've got the young hoopers closer to the action than ever before across Australia and New Zealand, and unforgettable, money can't buy moments that they've had with the teams right across the season. Bunnings courtside access, they are backing the next generation of ballers, and we couldn't do it without them.
No, we couldn't, and Phoenix couldn't do it without that man, Ian Clark. He's been special, 25 points, 10 of 14, 4 of 6. He's the only one that's really gotten going. They've only made 5 three-pointers. He's got 4 of them, 5 of 23. So a lot of upside in that area from Phoenix, but great find by Nathan Sobey. He knew he had the hot hand in Ian Clark, and he found him with a tough cross-court pass. And there's genuine scoreboard pressure now on the Adelaide 36ers. They know that they were in a winnable position, highly winnable position at 20 up. And when you see that whittled away now down to 8, still a decent lead, but given the circumstances of it, it's real pressure time now for the Adelaide 36ers.
And keep in mind, in game 2, the Sixers were outscored 57-35.
That is less than ideal from the timeout, and then Simon Cheatham with an agricultural foul.
That's good.
But I wonder whether they'll look at here.
I think they are right now. That looks like it should be an unsportsmanlike.
Goes in, I can't do what's playing forward, just grab against today. The right arm comes over the top.
Grant Kelly, the owner, along with side Larry Kesselman.
The right arm to the shoulder.
You see Grant looks very nervous. They're going to have a look at this and see if it's upgradable. From our angle, and we're behind it, not in front of it, so we're behind it. It did look like it was on the borderline.
Normal foul in shooting action. Status of the ball, please.
Adelaide were 19 points up, a normal foul on Cheatham.
Okay, just be mindful of it.
Because he came over the shoulder, but you could make an argument that he's going for the ball there. He's having a swipe, trying to take it out. It goes to the review.
Still yet to take a field goal in the game. All NBL second teamer. Adelaide fans can sense the urgency.
John Brown gets good looks from the mid-range.
John Brown just walks through as a cross screen or as a technical foul.
There's also a lot going on with Nick Rakocevic and anyone from Southeast Melbourne who wants a piece of him.
If that tech foul is on Ian Clark, he's going to be tossed from the game because he had a tech in that first half, didn't he?
Silence, please.
And Vasilivic is down, checking his mouth for blood.
Steve, stay away. Steve, stay in the huddle. Stay in the huddle.
Silence, please.
Looked like it.
So here's the incident.
Don't talk anymore.
Well, the issue is going to be high contact, and then John Brown smacks Rakosevic's hand. That's problematic.
Well, that's actually a good thing. It's not Ian Clark.
And then we'll ask if there's any other thing. I don't think there is.
So replay center, I have a normal foul. I would like to review the contact of the forearm to DJ upgrade to unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
So you heard the explanation there. It will be a tech foul on John Brown.
I don't think it's unsportsmanlike. And there's the tech right there. So he gets 2 fouls into 1 possession.
It comes at a really, really interesting time in the game. They got it back to 8. They had the momentum.
There's a bit to work through here, and obviously we're in the review center.
Now they've got a new villain. They're equal opportunity haters, the Adelaide 36ers fans.
They are, and right now it's anyone in white.
Normal foul.
I've got the normal foul. You're going to have the normal foul. White 0.
Technical foul. White 0. 1 shot.
So that's 4 fouls on John Brown. So right now, Coach King's got a decision to make.
What would you do?
I think it's now you've got it back to 8. I think you've got to give him a rest. Geordie Hunter's been more than serviceable. You'll hurt a little bit on the defensive end, and just as I say that, Geordie gets ready to check in. And he just needs to control his emotions here. John Brown the third.
There's the foul situation for both teams. So Clark and Awundu, who are the 2 men with the main responsibility guarding Bryce Cotton, both with 3 fouls of their own.
Now DJ goes to the line to shoot 2 shots off the back of the foul when he was setting a screen.
Because the first foul on Brown is the 5th foul for the quarter, and then they've said the technical foul was the 6th.
The 5th foul will be the technical. So
the officials
in the order in which they occur, the shoulder occurs first, which would be are we in the 6 fouls?
So this will be free throws for Vasilivic, who has 15 points as a starter tonight. He's 5 of 7 from the field.
And you know, Jack, this stoppage in play really works in theory against Southeast Melbourne. They had the tempo up. They were forcing some turnovers. Things were getting a little bit hectic.
And you hear Josh King talking to officials because he's thinking exactly like you, Derek, that the momentum's going their way. The 4's in play. Gives a chance for the Adelaide 36ers just to regroup and also knock down 3 free throws.
36ers 9th in the league of 10 for pace, so they like to play in a slow rhythm. Hunter helps it on its way. 9-point game. Still 3:47 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
And the offensive rebound total is starting to grow for the Phoenix.
Cheatham trying to force his way in. His first score of the night comes at a good time.
Tough matchup there for Hunter. I think he just needs to gap Cheatham a little bit. No need to get up on him as Sobey starts to probe.
Big ball from Malik Lewis. And the 3-point shooting stat not getting any better. 5 of 24 now. Rakocevic rolls.
Glover gets ready to check in, and he's only played at 5.5 minutes. He's 0 of 2 from the field. And now's the time you need him because you need to find scoring.
And right here, I think they're going to look at a potential basket interference. We saw this happen in Sydney the other day where there was a smack against the backboard and it was ruled to be 2 points. Let's see here.
Yeah,
the rim is moved.
That should be 2. The rim actually moved.
Should be basket interference. That should count for 2.
Absolutely. Based on what we've seen fall, a slap on the ball that really doesn't disrupt anything be deemed basket interference. And that one you could physically see the rim move before the ball even hit the backboard.
Rakocevic heading into double-double territory again now. 10 points to go with his 6 rebounds. Sobey tees off. Cheatham threw it out of play.
That shot's going to be on the way the Adelaide 36ers. Look at Bryce Cotton talking to Rakocevic. He's saying, hey, on that on-ball screen, you need to be higher because Sobey can catch fire like they saw in game 2.
Correct. And I'm surprised right here the shot clock hasn't been reset to 24. I thought Cheatham had possession.
Glover puts the ball on the floor. A nice look. And it rattles out. Cotton has the ball on a string.
Wow.
Cameron wide open. No good. Rakocevic comes up with it again. He stepped out of play before he threw it onto Hunter.
It's so tense in here, Jack.
Oh, yeah. As we saw in both the games, tough games to officiate with a lot of contact.
It's getting hot and sweaty and tense inside the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Hunter on the move. Left it short. Nice D from Cheatham. We tick down to 2 minutes before three-quarter time. Adelaide again just navigating a little storm. They lead by 12 points. The turnover number 15 is not going to help their cause.
Poor pass by Bryce.
Poor pass, but prior to that, Cheatham catches it on the wing. He has Lewis on him, and he never even looks at the basket to attack.
Clark back out there, has 3 fouls, but also has 25 points. Sobey pulls the trigger.
Really good closeout by DJ Vasilivic. Just did enough to worry Sobey in the corner 3 ball.
Nathan Sobey now 0 of 6 from the perimeter and then gives away a foul. And
DJ and Sobey want it.
Get caught up.
There's nothing in it.
The stakes are high, Jack. It all matters. And DJ right now is going to the psychological game.
Just a little push by Sobey that DJ didn't like. Not a whole lot, let's be honest. But DJ...
You can win yourself a Mitsubishi Outlander. How good would you not become if you watch this game and then by the end of the series you win the Mitsubishi Outlander LS Black Edition, which you can't get your hands on, Derek.
I cannot. And I've ridden in both of you. Yeah, well, that's a good idea, but I've ridden in both of you guys Mitsubishis throughout the course of the season. Very luxurious. Jack, you're a better driver.
Oh, so Andrew Gay is just cruising through Austin in his, and
beautiful.
He thought he was all that in a bag of potato chips in the Outlander. Scan that QR code and it could be yours. 76-62. Three-quarter time approaching. Glover couldn't get his shot away. And then Lewis goes exploring.
They don't get rewarded, but that was some outstanding scrambling by the Adelaide 36ers. The rotations, the bumping out, trying to stay somewhat matched up with like for like was a very good defensive set that goes unrewarded at this point.
They do not want to live the nightmare again. They're doing everything they can to avoid a Southeast Melbourne comeback.
Wow.
Hunter misses both.
Frustrated. Couldn't get it to drop.
Big minute in the series coming up.
says thank you for finally giving me a call. He'll go to the line to shoot two. And this Adelaide crowd stands up on its feet.
Well, the free throw count heavily in their favour. 14 of 18. Phoenix, they've only been there 7 times, 5 of 7. And that last one down the other end, Geordie Hunter, very upset. Thought he got whacked around the bucket.
And the defenses have really stood up in this third quarter.
A 10-2 run from Adelaide late in the quarter.
I'll bring in Matt Kenyon for this last possession to try and lock up Ian Clark.
Saturday at Kudos Bank Arena will be game 1 of the championship series.
Was it Kenyon?
The Sydney Kings playing host.
Clint Cameron goes out because he's got the 3 fouls in this last possession.
No sub.
Timing of the sub didn't work, so he can't come in just yet.
So the handoff to Clark, who will like to look at that matchup on Rakocevic. The big man does really well to stay in front and force a difficult shot. And then the 36ers swarm.
He's so versatile on the defensive end. Nick Rakocevic plays with intensity.
21 to 40 is the rebound count. 29 is the count for Bryce Cotton on 10 of 19. To go along with 4 assists, 4 boards.
Big bucket late. And now the assignment at the defensive end for Adelaide. Vasilivic happy to concede a foul and put Hunter on the line.
And Adelaide in the last 3 minutes of this third quarter have done an outstanding job in gaining control back. The lead was 68-60. Southeast Melbourne had done a terrific job. But since that time, it's been a 12-2 run.
Yeah, it was 11 points of difference with 2 and a bit minutes remaining, and they've just gone on a roll here to steady the ship for the Adelaide 36 as they finish cutting all the way back to 8.
12-2 run.
Yeah.
Before that made free throw.
Sorry, Jack. One of the weaknesses with the Phoenix all season has been when they shoot it poorly from the three-point line. Because of the reliance on it for their offensive productivity, they can be somewhat hamstrung in the half court. And in this game, Andrew, they're 5 of 26 from the 3.
That's not going to get it done.
Plenty of time here available for Adelaide. An eternity for Cotton. He is remarkable.
Bryce Cotton struts to the bench after delivering another big 3-ball to send his team's chances of appearing in the championship series through the roof.
a huge Bryce Cotton dagger to close out the third and send the 36ers up by 19 with just 10 minutes to play in this game 3. The time is now or never for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and a highly positive Josh King had one simple message. Let it go and don't give up. We are still here. We've got plenty of time to play basketball. He hasn't given up, guys. Can the fortunes change for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix?
Well, when you're trailer by this many, they're going to have to do something they haven't done well all game, and that is get hot from the three-point line. 5 of 26, and you've got to think of, there's a foul already. And that's going to be his fourth. I wouldn't do, but you've got to think of what are the numbers. Somehow or other, you've got to hold the Adelaide 36ers to 12 to 15, and you've got to get your 40. It's a long odds, but not impossible.
It'll take something remarkable for Southeast Melbourne, for Adelaide. They just need to keep doing what they have been doing all night long. Offensive rebounds have been a feature of tonight for them.
Rakocevic continues his outstanding play. Big on the offensive glass. 12 points and 9 rebounds for Rakocevic.
He's been the wild card of this series.
He has.
Rakocevic. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, and he's showed it throughout the season. But what's happened is they've decided to put Isaac Humphrey on ice and really just go with... Now, Humphries has been good, though, in this one. 13 points, 5 of 6. He's played more, but in the series, he's been hardly used. And he's come out and had a great game. But Bryce Cotton, he continues to see his own personal accomplishments improve. He now has 103 points in this series at 59%, if you don't mind.
Wow.
First time in his career he's had 100 points in a final series. So he just remarkable what he's been able to do. And here's a new look from the three-point line. Mitchell comes in for his first action, and that's what he's capable of doing. Wide open in the corner.
First action of the series. DJ Mitchell has been a DNP in game 1 and 2. Who knows?
Well, he's in there. It's all about the three ball, but if you can't play any defense, it's not going to matter how many threes you make.
Vasilivic has been outstanding in this game. Offensively, he's been smart. He's done a great job of mixing up the three ball, penetration for himself, and in that last instance, he sets Cheatham up for a simple two-hand flush.
Well, for me, this is DJ's best game of the season, and he saved it for the most important game for the Adelaide 36ers. There's going to be more important games to come, but at this point, this is the most important game. 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6. Perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line.
And Drew, they're shooting 61% from the field, including 47 from the three.
And we shouldn't forget for DJ, a championship series against his former team will be tasty.
Ooh, Jack, way to tease.
And we shouldn't forget Cotton v. Kendrick Davis in a 5-game championship series.
Well, a couple of threes to start this one. Just pause on the Adelaide in there just yet.
Just teasing, Drewy, teasing.
That's a foul. And that will be number 5 on Wes Iwandu as Cotton snakes his way around, and Iwandu's got to be careful. That is not the guy you want to mess with. Michael Leyland is walking away and being patient. Enough is enough. Iwandu has been teched up.
He's got to go.
He hunted the tech, and that's selfish because the game it's difficult, but it's still alive, and he just took his own personal frustrations out and he just went too far. He just hunted the tech foul.
And just moments.
And Michael Leyland was trying to do the right thing to ignore him. He tried as hard as he possibly could to ignore him.
But there must have been moments, Jack, where the Phoenix have just melted down emotionally.
They have been too caught up in the officiating tonight. There's no other way to say it.
And Bryce Cotton just continues to augment his points tally up to 34. And we're running out of accolades and words of praise as he misses one there.
Rare miss for Cotton, 11 of 20 from the field. 34 points in game 3. Drops for Foxwell.
Now right here, you've really got to go kamikaze with defensive pressure, Drew. You were trying to increase the number of possessions in this fourth quarter.
Here's a good time. There's a turnover. Great defense. Really good pressure. And they still believe. They still believe that they have a opportunity. They have not put the cue in the rack.
DJ Mitchell's already knocked down one, so attracts it. Harder closeout from Zylan Cheatham. His little jumper drops out.
16 turnovers to 3. Wow. And it's the only way they've made that up is the work on the boards.
Well, in that capacity, well, this will be interesting. It looks like a simple foul, but DJ flails out with his right elbow. And that's number 4 on Sobey.
Hey, stay under control.
And it looks like it's become very personal now between Nathan Sobey and DJ Vasilivic. And Sobey very nearly gave away foul number 5. Vasilivic with 6 on the clock. Had it knocked out of his hands.
Too much dribbling. Got caught. DJ got caught up in the moment, I think. Wanted to bucket.
Plenty of time left. 7.5 minutes. And as I mentioned in the first half, this Phoenix team is better than any other in the competition in putting up points in a hurry. And also turnovers.
And also for steals and committing turnovers or forcing turnovers. That's goaltending.
Beautiful pass from Nathan Sobey. Threaded the smallest gap there.
There's a lot. Take your time.
Well, he's been sharp passing the ball. He's got 7 assists.
And with those turnovers coming in, they bring back in Clint Cameron, another ball carrier.
If you're Mike Wells, do you just contemplate a little breather shortly just to
I think what you
calm things down?
What you don't want to do is get rushed. You want to make sure that, yeah, if there's something early on because of the kamikaze defense and you get to the rim, go ahead. Otherwise, try and use as much as the clock as you can without being negative.
As you can see in the bottom part of the screen, the winner goes through to play Sydney on Saturday. And that will be foul number 4 on Ian Clark.
Well, he certainly fouled him, Andrew. There was no doubt about it. Clark is being demonstrative in saying how Bryce behaved, but he's got hands on.
He did, but there's no doubt. And Bryce exaggerated the contact. And that's what the point Ian Clark was. That was a foul.
Chino's been much better in the second half offensively.
Foxwell's layup misses.
Landed on Foxwell's foot. It's going to be Adelaide's.
Yeah.
Ball.
Well spotted, Andrew.
Your vision must still be 20/20. You're a mile away there.
See it, no, just Foxwell was there and just assumed that it was going to come out.
Hunter and Glover at the scorer's table. Perhaps one last roll of the dice with a different lineup for the Phoenix. Vasilivic. What a night he's had.
Well, the invitations to the party have been sent out. Vasilivic now with 22 points on 6 of 9 shooting. A masterstroke by Mike Wells to install him into the starting lineup. And DJ has repaid his coach's faith big time.
Has he ever? And he's enjoying the moment.
We've seen John Jenkins for 1 minute in this game.
Well, the other curious one, Jack, is that Angus Glover has only played 9 minutes.
Particularly when they need scoring. Brown taps it back out to Clark. Smart play. So Clark hits the three, and there's a foul.
Good, three-pointer.
They'll get this back.
Foul, blue 45. Push.
Two shots.
Bonus, Hunter.
This could be a 5-point play.
Mike Wells was almost going to pull the trigger and review that. Wants to keep it up his sleeve just in case.
No need. Plus, I wouldn't want to stop the game right now, Andrew. The momentum is going well for Adelaide. Don't give Josh King a free stoppage in play to come up with scheme or devise something and try and rally his troops.
Not right now, but a couple made more baskets, and you might want to. This thing gets down to 10. I'm going to dislocate my shoulder, signaling a timeout.
There's the South Australian Premier, Peter Malinauskas, in the house. The potential of Adelaide hosting 2 games, potentially, in a 5-game series. Good luck trying to get a ticket to this place if they get there. It's sold out within minutes of being available for Game 3. Game 1 of this series on Saturday in Sydney. Big crowd expected at Kudos Bank Arena, 94-79. The officials letting them play through contact. Late shot clock. Cotton misses the first time and then gets fouled over the back by Glover.
Well, the shooter generally has the best idea of where the ball is going to rebound if it misses. And Cotton's always been good at chasing down shots like that one.
Yeah, had a hint of the famous Larry Bird play. He didn't catch it in the air.
There are the details for Game 1 on your screen Saturday. Tickets are on sale now at Kudos Bank Arena. The loudest stage in Kudos Bank Arena might lay claim, Derek, for the loudest venue.
Amazing. We haven't been there since, I believe, the New Zealand series. The Tasmania and New Zealand series where Sydney went back-to-back. Their chance to win 3 championships in 5 years. DJ's short.
Early shot. Phoenix are happy. Early shots, because as you mentioned, they need a lot of exchanges of the ball, a lot of possessions, and a lot of points.
They have to be almost perfect from here. They can't miss layups.
But if it is the Adelaide 36, it's not just the Adelaide 36 as Sydney Kings, it's Davis Cotton as well.
Oh, okay, Drew. Okay.
That's worth the price of admission.
Oh, yeah. Nice feed from Hunter. He's silent. Cheatham for 3. That's something we see a lot of from the big man.
Now he takes him when he's wide open.
He does do a lot of that, though. Rebound. That's number 10 for the night. 5 assists to go with it. Only has the 6 points.
Between him and Rakocevic. Rakocevic has got 11 boards.
A tired jump shot from Cotton. 4.5 minutes remaining. Game 3.
No shot.
There's a lot of
45. Thank you. Hits.
a lot of talk going on between the Adelaide 36ers, and if you just walked in the venue and you thought, who is 17 down, you might think it's the Adelaide 36ers based on the interactions.
Well, specifically between Cheatham and Vasilivic.
Yeah.
The last thing that they need to do at this stage of the game is combust.
Look at the Nathan Sobey shot chart. Got off to a slow start. He was 1 of 8. And then he started to get on the rim late in that second quarter, but it's been a rough one for Sobey. Just crept into double figures as Isaac Humphries has been outstanding in this game after being the subject of much discussion after game 2 when he only played 6 minutes.
Huge factor in the first half, Isaac Humphries.
He takes
Timeout, Adelaide. 96-81. 4.5 minutes remaining. Bryce Cotton, the leading scorer in the game with 36 points. Dejan Vasilivic has been outstanding with 22 of his own. Isaac Humphries has 13. Nick Rakocevic, 12 to go with his 11 rebounds for the Phoenix. Ian Clark, their leading scorer, with 28. Geordie Hunter with 10. Nathan Sobey with 11. But they've struggled beyond that.
It's been a tough one, and again, we've mentioned the fact that the Phoenix do struggle to score effectively without the three ball. They've only made 8 threes from 30 attempts. And aside from Ian Clark, it has been a very inefficient performance by the Phoenix.
Yeah, it has, and 8 of 30 from the three-point line, 26%, and that's a massive improvement in what they were at the halftime break. They just allowed the Stars to get going, and they've been playing catch-up ever since.
15-point lead to the Adelaide 36ers. Here's the Mitsubishi Motors three-point leaders for tonight. Vasilivic with 5 made threes. Ian Clark's been fabulous against the Tide all night long. He's got 28 points on 11 of 16. Absolute last chance saloon now for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
They need absolutely everything to go right, and they need to do it quick.
Cotton against the clock, gave it to Flynn Cameron. He just has not been able to get his scoring game going in this series. Mitchell back out there.
It's going to be a couple of free throws.
1-8.
DJ Mitchell coming over the back on the attempt of the O boards.
Tough shot there in transition by DJ Mitchell. Showed good effort in trying to chase it down. Just a little bit careless, and he gets called for the over-the-back foul. Cheatham to the line. Misses the first. It can often be tricky, Andrew, in these situations to close out these games. Seemingly a comfortable lead here for the Sixers.
Deep breath for Zylan Cheatham, who was one of the huge recruits in their off-season.
Perfect fit for the Adelaide for many teams, but particularly with what Adelaide's got and what his skill sets are.
Sobey for 3. Now the deficit is 13, 3 minutes 45 remaining.
Got to start looking at some trapping opportunities. Try and peel some turnovers out of the Sixers.
It can't be crazy trapping up. This is the guy you want to trap.
Clark guarding Cotton has 4 fouls. Vasilivic drives. That is a goaltend.
DJ just continues his great display here. 24 points.
Pass from Foxwell.
Oh, yeah, and a turnover.
And a turnover. They can't go to sleep on this thing yet, Adelaide.
Absolutely not. Look at the Amy replay. We see the feed in, nice on ball, no rotations. Their structure on the defensive end these last 4 or 5 minutes, in fact, this last quarter has looked suboptimal. And all of a sudden, just a little nervous now.
Well, that quick 4-0 run has really changed what is required on the defensive end. They don't need to be as frenetic.
The home fans were in party mode. Now all of a sudden, they know that this thing's not done. Malik Lewis on a tear for Sobey. He steps out of play.
That would have made it interesting. Oh. This has just been a real nervous quarter. They've tried to nurse this in, and the pressure that Phoenix have defensively able to apply, and also the fact they've been able to make some shots in this last quarter.
Gee, if that hadn't gone down, 8-point game. Still an opportunity for the Phoenix. Cotton starting to show some signs of fatigue. Sobey blows past Vasilivic. Mitchell. Unsuccessful. A tower of strength, Zylan Cheatham.
Wow, 2 stops and 2 good opportunities for the Phoenix, and now the Sixers are back at him. Rakosovic. Timeout, Southeast Melbourne.
They can breathe. And all of a sudden, the path to the championship series gets a little bit easier.
It certainly does, and it's Rakosovic just, as Phoenix now, we try to extend the D. They gamble, but a little too much. And it's hard to see it from here.
101-88. The basketball world mourning the loss of a great of South Australian basketball, Ken Cole, who unfortunately passed away after a tough and courageous battle with cancer. There's the 1986 championship banner that hangs in the rafters here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. And you got to believe that he's looking down tonight full of pride for his Adelaide 36ers.
Certainly is, and I was informed that he was able to watch his beloved Sixers play in Game 2, and Ken Cole was a true pioneer of basketball intellect, and we send our condolences to his family and friends.
They're almost there, but they're not there yet.
Impressive. That man on the string. He's been the architect of it all, as he is most of the time. In fact, the last time he played in a grand final series in 2020, and it was against the Sydney Kings, but he was wearing a Perth Wildcats jersey back then.
And it was a series that didn't quite pan out the way that we all would have liked, with COVID and everything that came with that. He's a 3-time champion, and he would love a chance to make it 4. Dejan Vasilivic, also a 2-time champion, both with the Sydney Kings. They've got 2 minutes remaining. 36 points for Bryce Cotton. Shares with Vasilivic, who has owned the moment.
Loves a big moment. Glover comes down and misses. But DJ Vasilivic has played his greatest game as a Sixer.
Certainly this season, for sure. Because it's not just about how many, it's also when you do it. And there's no bigger moment than tonight in the season for the Adelaide 36ers. But that man there, he's set the table.
And now the party can begin in Adelaide. Sobey for 3. Timeout, or some I should say 36ers.
Cheatham looks like he's cramping up. But plus they bring in another ball carrier to deal with the extended pressure. But it's not going to matter. 15 points up with 1:16 remaining.
Adelaide's last grand final encounter was the 2017-18 series. It goes down as one of the greatest in NBL history, a 3-2 war against Melbourne United.
Well, what to look forward to, but we also pay respect to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They have been brilliant all season. Josh King and his staff, Simon Mitchell, putting the team together. They have done a fantastic job, play an entertaining brand of basketball. Get up and down, shoot a lot of threes, brought in some elite talent, and made an unbelievable contribution to the season. They'll fall short here, but they should be extraordinarily proud about the season they've had, both on and off the floor. They've done a terrific job.
Well, it's back-to-back Game 3 losses away from home in consecutive seasons as Malik Lewis misses from deep. So when you look at it, Jack, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are a legitimate power. They've just got to figure out what's the next step.
So we say well done to the Adelaide 36ers, and there may need to be a few apologies to some that had a few things to say about the coach as well.
Absolutely.
How do you like me now, Mike Wells says?
Well, all season long, one of the strengths of Mike Wells has been his ability to make adjustments from game to game. And he certainly came up with a big one here.
Well, they all say, well, you got the best player in the league. That's true. But
that's not the entire answer.
It takes a hell of a lot more than that. And to juggle this with all the talent that has been on this roster, to get it to work together, Mike Wells has done a really good job.
Lewis short on the three. Ian Clark's tried his hardest. He's going to finish with 32 points. And Mike Wells gives the chance for some of his youngsters to get a taste of playoff basketball. Michael Harris and Kiana Rasmussen check in. Bryce Cotton, DJ Vasilivic sit down.
I think it was more about giving the ovation to his two heroes.
Well, they go for 65 points between the two of them. Cotton and Vasilivic. Hugs all around for the Sixers.
There was a time there coming into postseason where they were starting to look a little wonky. They'd lost 7 of their last 11. Questions were being asked, as Drewy said, about the coach, whether they had the support staff around Bryce Cotton.
Well, they went up to the Gold Coast and lost that Ignite Cup final. But they figured it out.
Well, they played poorly in that game either. It's just the breakers were really good.
Searching for their first championship since 2001-2002. The Adelaide 36ers have built a roster to win it all, and they get the chance to do exactly that. 108-96, the final score in Game 3. Adelaide will play Sydney in the championship series.
What a terrific performance by Mike Wells and his Adelaide 36ers. They executed the proper game plan, came in here, got it done off the back of a brilliant performance by Bryce Cotton and the late insertion of DJ Vasilivic into the starting lineup.
Yep, they pulled all the right levers in this one here tonight. And they are going to, we're in for a great grand final series as well. It's just two of the best teams all season. And Grant Kelly.
Big embrace between Mike Wells, the coach, and Grant Kelly, the owner. He's taken his fair share of criticism. He's got Adelaide to the championship series against Sydney on Saturday. Let's get to Kelsey.
He's emotional, he's just sworn to me, but Bryce, it's been a long time since you guys have been in a championship series. It's been a long time since the Adelaide 36ers have won one. For you, you move here in the first year you take them to a championship series. How does that sit for you?
I mean, this is truly special. We've been through so much throughout this season. We act like a family on and off the court, honestly, and it feels great. I can't lie, it feels great. This is my dog right here, too, behind me. AZ all day.
There's so much emotion in this group at the moment. We've got tears from DJ. You are overwhelmed, obviously, by what is happening, but why is there so much emotion around this?
Because, man, there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes that nobody knows. We do a good job blocking out the noise and just controlling what we can control. The things we can't, it's out of sight, out of mind.
So you face up against the Sydney Kings now. Do you have anything to say to them? They'll be watching right now.
You know I don't talk much.
We love it. Thanks so much for your time. Go and enjoy this one with your team.
Appreciate you.
Bryce Cotton has engineered the Adelaide 36ers all the way through to the championship series, 108-96. What a night at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. We're going to come back and wrap it up on the other side of this. sell out tonight at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, and they might not leave. They might stay here all night and party because they have been waiting a long time to see the 36ers back in the Championship Series. They win tonight, 108-96. Incredible Game 3, unbelievable series.
Well, as an individual, Bryce Cotton was dominant. He got great support from DJ Vasilivic. The Adelaide 36ers dominated the rebound count, and I thought the third period was decisive when Southeast Melbourne made a run. The Sixers were able to repel them and go into the fourth quarter up 19.
Yeah, and certainly the start they got in all 3 games. They got off to cracking starts. Phoenix playing catch-up the whole series. They were able to do it in Game 2, but in this one here, their three-point shot just let them down. And they fought valiantly. And the Adelaide 36ers gave them a chance with the game. 19 turnovers to 5, but they countered that, the Sixers, with just a Herculean performance on the boards where they just dominated.
Here's what's next. Here's what remains. Sydney and Adelaide. 5 games that start Saturday. Feed it into our veins, Derek Rucker.
Let's go. Saturday night, Kudos Bank Arena. Game 1 of a 5-game championship series. Stars all over the court. What a time this is going to be.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. You've got superstars all over the place. And, wow, it's just hard to pick. You'd have to... The Sydney Kings have been exceptional all season, had to deal with adversity. But this Adelaide team, the momentum they get from this very tough series will hold them in good stead.
Bryce Cotton's the toast of the town right now. He's not quite the premier of South Australia. I think Peter Malinowski has got that wrapped up, but he might be the next big thing in the state of South Australia right now because the Adelaide 36ers are through to play the Sydney Kings in the Championship Series. On behalf of Andrew Gaze, Derek Rucker, Kelsey Brown, and our team in the scenes, behind the scenes, who are the best in the business, we will see you on Saturday in Sydney for Game 1 of the Hungry Jacks Championship Series. Let's go.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.